Hello, football fans, and welcome back to Goalside. Are you a fan of the MLS, or do you at least follow its fixtures and results? If not, then perhaps you may still think that it is a type of farmers league, as some used to call it, or simply the place where players about to retire have a couple of well-paid seasons for the fun of it. This, friends and subscribers of Goalside, has changed quite a bit. Gone are the days of watching Major League Soccer matches because nothing else was on TV. Gone are the days where MLS stars look to escape the United States and Canada, desperate to find a spot in just about any team in Europe. Those days are in the past. The MLS is here to stay. But what has changed exactly? Has it been the sponsorships? Are the stadiums more attractive? Or are the games being played at an hour that is friendlier for all worldwide audiences? The curious part is that despite all of the above being correct, they're not the main reason the Major League Soccer League has been put on the map. It's the players. One of these players has reshaped the landscape in this league, bringing a fresh of breath air to American soccer and producing previously unheard of numbers with his goals and assists. We're talking of Carlos Vela, the star striker from Mexico who, after decent periods of his career at Arsenal and Real Sociedad, arrived to dominate the MLS in a way that made even the most interesting former stars from Europe pale in comparison. Born in Quintana Roo and only 30 years old, Carlos Vela is living a completely new age in his football career, with signs of being able to maintain this level for perhaps another couple of seasons at least. He even may, incredibly, just be the best player currently plying his trade in the MLS. And on November 4th, 2019, as if to reinforce this idea, after a world-class season that saw him blow away any expectations in terms of goals and assist numbers, Carlos was crowned the MLS Landon Donovan MVP of 2019. Vela, a left-footed player, has a curious style of playing. Although his numbers would make anybody believe he's a striker, this isn't actually his favorite position. Carlos enjoys making use of his quick feet, high pace, and extremely advanced football intelligence, allowing him to create goals and score them from his preferred right wing position, typically cutting in past the opposing fullback, dribbling past a defender, and shooting on goal from mid-range. In fact, most of the goals in the MLS have come from shots from the outer borders of the penalty box, many times still while standing in front of the last defenders. This allowed the Mexican forward to absolutely destroy the previous record held for goals and assists in an MLS season, as well as most goals ever scored in a single season, which were both held by Venezuelan star Josef Martinez, surpassing the young Josef by 3 goals and 9 assists. Carlos Vela racked up 34 goals and 15 assists, summing up 49 total goal contributions in the 2019 season, something which came as a complete shock to experts and fans across the entire globe. As it appears, despite having shown momentary signs of brilliance while playing for several European clubs, the 30-year-old Mexican star had not yet hit his footballing peak and was still preparing himself for a season with numbers that would blow everyone away. But how did Vela's story begin, and how did he get this far? Truly, how good is Carlos Vela? To begin, it's a matter of going all the way back to March 1st, 1989 in Cancun, Mexico, the birthday of Carlos Alberto Vela Garrido, to an iron welder who specialized in fixing boats and a stay-at-home mom. He also has an older brother, Manuel Vela, who would also go on to become a professional footballer in Mexico after helping get young Carlos into the sport at an early age. Still, it was truly the father of the siblings who started it all, a part-time semi-professional footballer. A torn ligament forced Enrique to retire prematurely, and he wanted to continue living his dream through his 2 sons. This led the Vela man of the house to enroll Carlos and Manuel into a local club named Cochawoles, or kicking round ball in Mayan. There, Carlos had his first taste of the beautiful game, although it wasn't something he was passionate about. Even now, Vela shakes his head when asked if he loves football. He admits to always having been a basketball fan and that he will always prefer to watch a basketball game over a football match, no matter which 2 teams are playing. This caused a bit of an issue for him as a child. He wanted to play basketball, and his dad wanted him to play football, but he would have to choose one. Fortunately for Carlos, it was football that became a priority at the age of 12. He finally accepted the fact that he had a future if he chose to work hard on becoming a star. Although initially he didn't get many chances to impress any scouts in the country. After all, not many of them traveled to Cancun looking for players of his quality. Vela was eventually spotted by CD Guadalajara's youth system in 2001, after which he was called upon to participate in a youth tournament in Buenos Aires. He would receive another chance at impressing in 2003 when he participated in a local competition in the city of Ciudad Victorias. Several Primera Division teams were participating, and he received more than one offer to join these clubs. It would be Guadalajara which eventually chose him and his brother to become part of their youth squads. However, and thus the young Vela's career began. 2 years after starting to train and play at Guadalajara's youth level, at the age of 16, Carlos received some amazing news. He had been called up by the under-17 Mexico national team. where he would go on to perform extremely well, scoring 3 goals in group stages, that is, 1 against Uruguay and 2 against Australia, as well as a goal versus Costa Rica in the quarterfinals and the first goal in the final against Brazil. Vela ended not only as a member of the trophy-winning team, but also as the top scorer of the competition. This incredible start to his career led Guadalajara's club owner to sign him, though Vela made sure that his family was relocated as part of the deal after floods had affected their home during storms in Cancun. His time at Guadalajara wouldn't be long, however, as the giants of Europe were already circling for his signature. It would be London giant Arsenal that landed him in late 2005, and a new stage of his life began. He was informed early on, due to the need for a work permit in the UK, he would not be allowed to play there for at least a season, and Arsenal agreed to loan him to Spanish club Celta de Vigo for the 2006 season. This ended badly for him, claiming they had filled their squad with too many players from outside the European Union, a reality which meant they were breaking a rule in Spanish football. Celta were forced to send Carlos back to Arsenal, and the London club loaned him out to 2nd Division UD Salamanca. His time at Salamanca was much better. He scored 8 goals in 31 matches and formed an impressive partnership with striker Braulio Nobrega, who was the team's top scorer. By then, La Liga teams were discussing the possibilities of getting Vela on loan within their own squads, and it was Osasuna that snatched him from under the noses of their competitors, lucky that he was still ineligible for a UK work permit. He would score 3 goals in 33 matches and was praised by the Spanish press for his performance in a match against Real Betis, where he scored. Around this time, Vela participated in the 2007 FIFA U20 World Cup and was then called up for his debut for the Mexican senior team. Returning to Arsenal at the end of the 07-08 season, work permit now firmly in hand, Arsene Wenger proudly announced that he would be introduced to Premier League football the following season. He was a success, scoring a hat-trick in the League Cup against Sheffield United in his full debut. He would go on to score 3 more that season, and his following 2 seasons would bring 5 more goals to his tally, as well as a decision to take a long hiatus from the Mexican senior squad after getting caught in a partying and booze controversy in September of 2010. The second half of his 2010-11 season took place at West Bromwich Albion, who had agreed to take him on loan until May of 2011. He scored 2 goals in 8 matches while at the Baggies, but they were both late equalizers that saved the side from losing the matches. It would be in August of 2011 when he was sent to Real Sociedad, where he would make a name for himself, although this move initially took place as a loan from his parent club, Arsenal. After scoring an impressive bicycle kick in December of the same year and getting a goal against FC Barcelona, Vela went public on his desire to stay at Sociedad. He would not be returning to Arsenal, as it was clear that he wouldn't get the game time he had been promised. This first season was a success, and Vela scored 12 goals in 30 apps and was generally happy with how life was going. Vela would go on to play 5 years at Real Sociedad, scoring 54 goals in 184 matches, and it was clear that he was an excellent and tricky winger who racked up decent numbers of assists every season. He earned the La Liga Player of the Month on 2 occasions, December of 2013 and November 2014, beating world-class players from the 2 giants, Real Madrid and FC Barcelona, in doing so. But his story had one more twist to go. In August of 2017, Vela was signed by Los Angeles FC, who wanted the Mexican star to become their first designated player, which is based on an MLS rule that allows clubs to pay a foreign player higher wages or pay a transfer fee for them to sign. He was a hit in his first season. With 14 goals and 11 assists, including 2 goals and a crazy 3-4 defeat in the El Tráfico Derby of Los Angeles against LA Galaxy, Vela captained the MLS All-Star team against Juventus in July of 2018, although his side lost. He was also named in the 2018 MLS Best XL squad, and a certain rivalry began to form with superstar Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who was often compared with the Mexico star in terms of importance in the league. But as everyone now knows, it was 2019 when Carlos Vela unleashed the beast within, scoring a hat-trick in a 5-0 win at the San Jose Earthquakes. It was only smooth sailing from there for the younger Vela sibling. 2 more goals against LA Galaxy and another defeat, becoming the fastest player in MLS history to score 20 goals, becoming the highest-scoring Mexican in MLS history, and leading LAFC to both the league playoffs and Supporters' Shield. Vela couldn't stop smashing every record known to Major League success. On October 6, 2019, however, he broke the biggest one. It took a hat-trick and a 3-1 win over the Colorado Rapids, but on this date, he beat Josef Martinez's 2018 historic record of the most goals and assists in a single season. After having claimed at the beginning of the 2019 season, "My goal is to become the MLS MVP," it all came true by the last day of the season. MVP, record breaker, and hero. Carlos Vela, ladies and gentlemen, the man who restarted his career and shocked the world. This has been all our video on Carlos Vela's success. We hope you've liked it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to Goalside. We'll see you back here for the next one.